Good morning everybody, welcome to the new edition of the Birdroom. New time, new day, Sunday. This is going to be our regular slot from now on. Spoken to Matt Eld at the Canary Room, and obviously it doesn't basically clash with his episodes. But before I get started, I want to say a couple of thank yous. Chris Harrison, big donation to the channel a few weeks ago, and obviously I've not been on to do an episode since, so thanks Chris. And not only that, he came over last weekend, helped me out building my new office, and he's a dab hand at anything construction. Obviously that's his game, so massive thank you. Also Dave Cheshire. Now around Christmas time I went over to Dave's and he invited me over, and what a lovely setup, what a lovely guy, what a lovely family. I will be over at Dave's at some point filming there, and you will see what I mean by a lovely setup. And not just that, his koi pond is something to be admired as well. Lovely fishing there, and it's an absolute dream of a pond. So that's one thing to look forward to in a future episode. Like I said, welcome back. A lot's been happening since our last episode, as we kept you updated. We've been on with building our new office, which gives me a new opportunity for a new bird room. Not getting rid of this one, just having it as an overstock for the younger chicks. I wish I would have even got permission by the wife and things before this, and I wouldn't have had to get rid of some of the birds. But all that'll be as the episodes roll out, you'll hear more about that. But we'll start today with some of our new products that we've had in over the last couple of weeks. It's took its time getting in as always, but it is what it is. And not just that, a new block of cages that I've had made from a good friend of mine, Joe. And what stunning cages they are, absolutely fantastic. No drawers, specifically I'd prefer them with no drawers. The fronts just turn and pull completely off. Less place to have them out, in my opinion. As you can see, they're fully stocked. 12 pairs in here. 12 pairs of 5 that is. There is 6 pairs of the adult pairing 5s, but I'll elaborate a little bit more on that as the episode goes on and also some of the younger pairs. What I'm trying to do is build the green line up. Obviously it's a line that I've worked on a couple of years, as I've said before. We inherited a while ago, and I want to keep this line going, so there's no new introductions to the green line. However, as you'll see later on when I turn the camera around, the birds have lightened up. We've got variegated 10%, heavily variegated birds, cinnamons, but they've gone anyway, and 3 white or blue ground birds to work with and build a line with them, but I'll explain that later on as we go on. Let's get around to the new products that we've got. Anything you do need, you know where to find us. So some of the new stuff we've got in, obviously some of the stuff we've got in obviously just restocking what we already had. One new thing we've got in from popular demand due to Matt obviously promoting it on his YouTube channel, the Canary Room, is egg pincers or egg tweezers for picking up your eggs. I haven't tested them yet, but obviously on an eggs we've got no eggs at the moment, but I would say I've tested it on my finger. If I press this at full strength, there's no pressure on the end, so I think these would work really well. And it's made of wood, so it's more sustainable. This is the way forward apparently. Nets, right, little Avery nets, perfect. Anyone that knows me personally knows that when I catch my birds up, I never catch them up by hand, even if they're in a cage. I usually use a net and get them that way, less stress from handling the birds. But if you've got the pesky little redpolls and siskins, something like that is ideal because they're like lightning, as everyone knows. Zebra finch is the same thing. So we've got them available. Now, everyone's been asking for these next 2 ones. Now we have got them available now. Cocoa nest available in 2 sizes. There's obviously limited ones at the moment, but the rest will be arriving this week at some point. Cocoa nest inlays, these are preformed quality, so they're not the flat ones. Ideal again, British finches, bullies, all that type of stuff. If you're a breeder of British birds, most of you'll know what these type of things are worth or used for. For those on the other hand that don't, bullfinches, these are most for bullfinches, same with the coconut ones. This is a 13cm one, but we have got them in 9cm. 9cm would be a few smaller finches. Goldies, red poles, them type of things. Bigger ones, your greenies, sib bullies. Like I said, plenty of that stuff. But now, these are what I'm obviously they're not as much available as they would have been because I'm using some of these myself. Now, these are magnetic card holders for the breeding cards. Magnetic ones. Stick on your cage. You slide your card in there. Slide your card in. Perfect. The breeding card themselves come in packs of 25, so we're limited with what we've got of them again because I'm using them myself. So that's them two. Also chia seed. Now, some of the seed, the straight seeds, Blue Moor and Perilla we will definitely be getting this year. Those who have messaged me, I've already explained why. And if you don't know why, it's down to with Chinese, all the Chinese people have bought it. It's an health food at the end of the day. And they've bought everything that's available and they're using it over there. So fair play to them, but it uses less oil for us bird keepers. Needless to say, obviously the seed mixers that used to contain it, they don't have it no more, and there's nothing we can do about that. But like I said, that's just a couple of the products that we've got available. Now, there's a load more available on the website. I can't show you every single one because I'd be here all day. Drinkers, feeders, egg food drawers, finger drawers, all back in stock now, so there's plenty of them there. All your nesting essentials, nest felts and nesting material, there's plenty of that available, so head over to the website directbirdproducts.com, everything's on there. In the bird room at the moment, we're on about 12 hours 15 minutes due to obviously Friday I'd be increasing it again, 15-minute increments like I said. And what has been noticeable over the last 3 weeks at least, the fives are really coming into condition really quick, to a point I'm having to bloody empty the water pots frequently because they're constantly filling them up with easy bed chippings. Now, over probably next 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I am looking to put the ones in the new cages probably to nest. We'll see. I'm just going to play it by ear, obviously time dependent on obviously getting the build finished, and then obviously once I put them down I've got a bit of free time then to start on the new stock shed for all the young birds. But we'll see. But so far as the British finches, they're going to be another month or so before I even think about that. As we watched the show last year, we'll know that there's a lot involved with getting the flights ready and dressed and all clean, deep cleaned down. Whereas as the cages now, all the block behind me, all been deep cleaned. Obviously new block had been cleaned before I put the birds in, and the flight cages have all been done. They've all been done last week, so it's a full-time thing trying to get everything ready for breeding season, because you cut corners and you'll pay for it later on down the line. You don't give them a deep clean, just a quick, I don't know, clean out, change of bedding and stuff. It doesn't really cut it, but you're not getting rid of any nasties that's there already. And the last thing you want to do is just cut corners, and then a month down the line when the weather starts warming up, you're going to pay for it. You're going to be mite infested, especially later on in the season. And what's the point in putting all the hard work in over winter for a crappy breeding season, because that's all you'll have if you cut corners. So as I said, behind me, as you can see, I'll take some closer shots. We've got a few various pairs in. A couple of pairs from Dave Cheshire, like I said. Dave was an absolute diamond, letting me around there, and he gifted me a lovely pair of birds. Even one that won at one of the shows he'd been at. He's got some absolutely quality birds there, and obviously best of luck to him this season. Well, there were two pairs from Matt Eld, they are in cage. So actually, Matt, if you are watching this, you might be kicking yourself slightly. So I got two pairs, adds two pairs. Turns out 3 hens, 1 cock, obviously more in my favour. These birds, obviously you can hear them now, they're singing their heads off, so they're in congestion. But so we've got cage 1 is one of Matt's, cage 7 and cage 12. Let's have a look at them birds a bit closer, and yeah, Matt might be kicking himself about that. So this is a pairing number 1. The variegated yellow is what's meant to have been a cock bird from Matt. It's actually a variegated yellow hen bird, so well, it's gone to a clear buff anyway, but I think they'll complement each other quite well. And thanks again for Matt from them birds, obviously beautiful bird. Cage obviously number 2 is another hen bird that's running with the buff. A yellow hen bird running to the clear buff, so a clear yellow hen. Cage number 6, we have a variegated yellow cock to a buff, variegated buff hen. Now he's going to be going over 2 more hens as it is. This is one of the other hens that he'd be going over. This is again a bird from Matt, a clear buff hen. As you can see, it's a lovely, lovely bird, lovely type, lovely feather. So in this cage, cage number 11, we have a clear buff cock. Now this is one from Matt as well. Well bred bird, and he's going to be going over a couple of hens as well. Let's get him up. This is the other end of Matt's. Looking a bit sorry for herself because she had a big wet bath earlier, and still looks a bit wet now. But an healthy bird is a bird that'll bath, so all being well, she'll be okay. This is one of the birds from David Cheshire. A clear yellow bird, lovely bird again, and we'll have plenty out of them, I don't. So in the top row, obviously with the greens are all kept on one side, the coloured birds are on the other side. Just make it easier for me when I'm sorting them really. What I need to do, obviously what I did before is numbered all the cages up. That was before I got this block, so I need to renumber them all as well, and I'll quickly talk through that shortly. The top row is all adult pairings. Now what I did, looking back at my records on obviously last year's breeding records, that's always a vital must for what I'm about to explain. So the birds that I've won at the shows with this year, the heavily variegated at London, and the one I got best in show at Carl Sholton with, that was a CBS show, but best in show overall is no mean feat by all means. When looking at them, I look back at the breeding records, they actually are brother and sister, not out the same nest, first and second round. One is heavily variegated, one is a self green. So by me looking at them records, what I managed to do is obviously find the cock and find the hen bird. So obviously I'll explain that shortly. The other pair that which one was it? It was a heavily variegated buff cock. Everyone was saying that it's probably an M bird until it started singing. Now, that bird obviously was a green ring originally, because I rung on mine with the rubber rings, whereas the other pair I just spoke about was all on red rings, red rubber rings. Obviously when we're showing them I took the rings off, so when I bought them back I had only the ring numbers to go on from the young ones, which I had to look at. So what I've done is obviously the M bird from the green rings line, it's going to be a bit complicated. The M bird from the green split ring line, the cock bird from the red ring line, paired together, both together. Ironically, it worked out perfectly. This cage here. The vice versa pair, this pair here. The reason I've done that is, in my opinion, they produce the best two pairings, or the best youngsters this year. And by me putting them two together, then pairing, I've got obviously the best of both. So basically combining that family together and see what they produce. This cage here is just an adult pairing, a straight adult pairing that I bred last year. These birds are bloody singing. You can't probably pick it up in here, but greenfinch is striking up. Anyway, this pairing here, this is a pairing to the one that did well at Dagenham. So obviously they're my three adult pairings which are proven, and I just switched a few cocks and hens around to try and see what they produce this year. The other adult pairings in these ones, slightly different. So because they're all proven and they all work for me, it might be an adult hen to a young cock, depending on obviously quality of the bird, but obviously all in one way relate to another without getting brother to sister. Just keeping that family line together. This is obviously something I've been learning from watching such as Matt's videos and asking questions to 205 breeders, and most of the people I have asked have been really good and really good with advice. Otherwise I would have just been pairing as I did before, down the same route of what I do with the British birds. But there's a couple of things I'm going to try that this year to see how they get on. Like I said, the white birds and the coloured birds are in the first year, so I'm saying I'm not expecting much. There's actually quality there already, but I won't show birds that I've bought in. I'd show the young ones of the birds I've bought in, but not the birds that I've bought in, so that's why none of the coloured ones have been on the show bench. However, there is one or two that I have kept back, who were actually in the flights that obviously I didn't ever use. So, but as we speak now, this hen bird down in the lower block down here is carrying around again as always. One thing though I must point out is, over the last 3 weeks, what I expected were cocks have turned into hens, and what I expected to be hens have turned into cock birds. So it will test most of us, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean that's basically it in this block, the green block. What I'm saying now is all my birds over the last 3 weeks, they've all had a variation of treatment for mites, getting them ready for the breeding season. I've had moxidectin, I gave it 2 days. What I've noticed after 2 days anyway, they didn't really want to drink that water. Whether it doesn't taste right to them or something like that, I don't know. So one thing you will find if you're using moxidectin, the birds they'll drink it or when they'll need it, or they won't drink it just like they would normally if they're obviously on the last feet, then they're going to drink it, they need to drink it, but they didn't like it, put it that way. It's a mite treatment, obviously worms and all the malarkey that comes with that, it cleans them all out. Now they're on Ivyform Advanced Gold. with calcium, 10 ml of each per litre, so I put 10 ml calcium, 10 ml Abbey Gold to a litre of water. They're getting the vitamins and minerals, calcium in supplements, building them up. Same with the British birds, they're getting exactly the same treatment. They're also getting egg food and soak seed or an egg food mix 3 times a week now. It's the first week it's been 3 times a week, it was twice a week, but now I'm obviously upping it and bringing them into condition gradually, faster but gradually. It is what it is, and hopefully before March we'll have some youngers as always. With the British birds, not really much has been happening. Like I said, all the British birds are in flights now getting fit. Unfortunately, with obviously being in flights, I weren't able to enter some for the All British, which is obviously on today as it airs, so that's the downside to it. Obviously I'm getting them fit, ready for showing. But they are coming on, and like I said, 3 days ago I heard the greenfinch cocks start striking up, so that's a telltale sign that they're coming into condition. The brambles are still in there, chappies are still in here. Greenies, like I said, that's the main thing that I'll be breeding this year in the British birds. Linnets are in the flight still. Mules and hybrid pairs, 2 chappy hybrid pairs with greenies are still perfect in there, getting on like an house on fire. Greenie bully pair, perfect. The muling pairs, golden mules and siski mules, same again. No issues with those. However, the crossbill hybrid pairs, absolute disaster. The crossbill cocks in both occasions absolutely smashed the living daylights out of the hen birds. One of the hen birds being a greenfinch hen, and there was blood everywhere one day when I came in, so rather than losing the bird, took her away. Same with the Norwich with the crossbill, same thing, it absolutely mullered her head, so I've just took them out. End of the day, I believe it to be the fact that they're in condition and the other counterparts, the hens, aren't, so that's them separated, and I'm probably not going to reintroduce them. We'll see next couple of weeks how they get on, but disappointing to say the least. But that's hybridising for you. I'd rather keep a bird and not lose it, especially the greenie hen. It's current year greenie hen with a current year crossbill cock, so I wouldn't have thought there would have been an issue, but obviously he's a bit too keen and a bit too conditioned, so he's had to come, or she's had to come away. But yeah, I mean, over the coming weeks we're doing the flights for the greenfinches, well, all the British finches for that matter of fact. The flight cages are going to be having probably a pair of chappies in. We'll see as it develops. Greenies maybe in a flight cage. They bred well in a flight cage last year, bred well in flights last year, so we'll just play it by ear and dress them and get them ready for breeding. Like I said, as you can see, all my cages are numbered. I mean, these are stick-on numbers, Amazon, cheapest chips, I think a couple of quid for a couple of packets of 1 to 50 I think they are, or 1 to 100, whatever you want anyway. Amazon's the place to get them. Get all your cages organised, get your nest felts ready, get your nest pans ready, that type of stuff for the coming weeks. If you haven't already, get them done. I've not done mine, but I will be over the next week or so getting them ready when I get time, do it at the night time I suppose. Get your breeding records ready, get everything in line so when it does come to starting, straightforward. Make sure you order your rings, that type of stuff, then you're ready. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks everyone for watching, and keep in touch. Obviously the coming episodes over the next coming weeks, plenty to see. We're hopefully going to be visiting a few bird rooms, the old type canary type things, crest canaries, cinnamon canaries, the rarer variety, to give some diversity to the channel for different people that watch. Also Eagle-eyed viewers might have caught a glimpse of a couple of Yorkies in here. They're not mine. They are friends. They are to go to cock birds. If you're interested in any Yorkie cocks, give me a shout. Also, I've got a friend who's got some stunning pie green pinches for sale. Same again, if you are looking for them, get in touch and I will point in the right direction. So anyway, thanks for watching everybody. Enjoy the rest of your, well, Sunday afternoon it'll be. And I will see you in the next one. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, it doesn't cost a thing. And hit the like button if you have liked what you see. Anything for your bird keeping needs, directbirdproducts.com, or find us on Facebook. All the information's on there, how to do everything. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.